challenge so daunting that it felt insurmountable. Imagine being in a place where every step forward felt like a battle against unforeseen forces. Today on the Central Quest, we're diving into the power of perception and how changing the way we view obstacles can transform our lives. Through real-life stories and practical techniques, we'll explore how the lens through which we see our challenges can be the key to unlock our true potential. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of cognitive appraisal and intrinsic motivation and learn how to turn life's toughest trials into triumphant victories. Hi, and welcome to the Central Quest, your ultimate destination for inspiration, resilience and transformation. I'm your host, Simon Keelan, a military commando veteran with 28 years of service and a plethora of experiences in the corporate world. In my journey of discovery, I've lived a roller coaster of beliefs and emotions, and I can tell you, there have been both highs and lows. I've also walked the boards as a business owner and leader with a bank of international experiences, some good, some bad, and some mad. The common denominator is this: I'm passionate about empowering personal and professional transformation, all whilst fostering intrinsic motivation through cognitive behavioural tools. Join me as I share insights, stories and strategies from my diverse experiences, all set to the rhythm of life. Whether you're a fellow veteran, an aspiring entrepreneur, someone feeling stuck, or simply seeking motivation, then this channel is for you. Tune in and let's get to work. Welcome to episode 2 of the series, where we continue our dive into cognitive appraisal by further exploring how changing our perceptions can change our lives. Okay, to kick things off, let's revisit what we mean by cognitive appraisal. If you remember back to episode 1, I suggested that the easiest way to think about cognitive appraisal is the process by which we interpret and evaluate an event or situation. It's our mind's way of making sense of what's happening around us. This interpretation influences our emotional response and subsequently our behaviour. For instance, if you perceive a job interview as an exciting opportunity, you're likely to feel enthusiastic and perform well. On the other hand, if you see it as a high-stakes test of your worth, you might feel anxious and struggle to present yourself in the best way possible. Now, let's tie this into intrinsic motivation. So, intrinsic motivation refers to doing something because it is inherently rewarding, rather than for external reward or pressures. According to Daniel Pink in his book Drive, intrinsic motivation is fueled by 3 elements: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Meanwhile, Carol Dweck's research in mindset highlights the importance of having a growth mindset, which sees challenges as opportunities to grow rather than threats to avoid. The intersection of cognitive appraisal and intrinsic motivation is crucial. How we interpret events can either bolster our intrinsic motivation or undermine it. If we perceive challenges as opportunities for growth, a positive cognitive appraisal, we're more likely to be intrinsically motivated to tackle them. Conversely, if we see the same challenges as insurmountable obstacles, our motivation can plummet. Let's dive into some real-life scenarios to see how this works in practice. So let's imagine John, our seasoned professional, transitioning from a structured career. He receives critical feedback at work. Let's look at a positive interpretation he may have. Viewing this feedback as constructive, he might think, hey, this is valuable information that can help me improve and grow in my role. This positive interpretation leads to feelings of motivation and determination. John feels empowered to make changes and enhance his performance, seeing the feedback as a stepping stone to personal and professional development. Now, let's flip the lens and look at this from a negative interpretation he may hold. Suppose John interprets the same feedback as a personal attack. He might think, my boss doesn't appreciate my hard work. They're out to get me. This negative interpretation triggers feelings of resentment and demotivation. John may become disengaged and defensive, negatively impacting his performance and job satisfaction. Let's open up another scenario. Imagine the same John facing a significant personal challenge, like a health issue. Holding a positive interpretation of his health issues, John views this challenge as a test of his resilience and an opportunity to adopt a healthy lifestyle. He might feel motivated to make positive changes. He could think, this is my chance to turn things around and improve my well-being. This positive outlook fuels proactive behaviour, such as exercising regularly and eating healthier, enhancing his intrinsic motivation to take care of himself. Yet, if he was to give it a negative interpretation, John could view the health issue as an insurmountable obstacle. He might think, I'm never going to get better. This is the end of my active life. This negative perception can lead to feelings of anxiety and hopelessness, decreasing his motivation to engage in healthy behaviour and potentially worsening his health. Before we move on, I'd like to take a moment to remind you to subscribe to the Central Quest. If you're enjoying these insights, please like, comment, and share this episode with others who might benefit from it. Your support helps me continue to bring valuable content to help you grow personally and professionally. Without further ado, let's continue. So, how can we train our minds to adopt more positive interpretations? One effective technique goes by the fancy name of cognitive reconstructing. This involves identifying negative thought patterns and challenging them to create more positive, adaptive thoughts. For example, when John receives critical feedback, he could ask himself, is there a more constructive way to review this feedback? How can I use this information to grow? Another powerful tool is mindfulness. The vast majority of people have heard of mindfulness, but this is sometimes sadly met with an amount of eye rolling. But by actually practicing mindfulness, we become more aware of our thoughts and emotions, allowing us to catch negative interpretations before they spiral out of control. Mindfulness encourages us to stay present and observe our thoughts without judgment, making it easier to reframe them positively. Carol Dweck's concept of a growth mindset is also invaluable. A growth mindset sees challenges as opportunities to develop new skills and improve. When faced with a setback, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, a growth mindset would say, what can I learn from this experience? How can I improve? This shift in perspective can dramatically boost intrinsic motivation. What practical exercises can you try? One effective exercise is journaling. Write about a recent challenging event and explore your initial perception. Then, consciously reframe the event from a more positive, growth-orientated perspective. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience help me grow? Another technique is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine a positive outcome from a challenging situation. Picture yourself overcoming the obstacle and achieving your goal. Focus on the feeling of accomplishment and motivations that arise from this visualization. And finally, and no more less important, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. When faced with setbacks, remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes and that these experiences are part of growth journey. Self-compassion helps shift your perception and maintain intrinsic motivation. Today, we explored how different interpretations of the same event can lead to vastly different emotional outcomes and how these perceptions impact our intrinsic motivation. By understanding and applying cognitive appraisal, we can reframe our experiences to foster personal growth and motivation. As you go about your week, I encourage you to apply these techniques we discussed. Reflect on how changing your perceptions can lead to more positive outcomes and greater motivation. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive deeper into practical strategies for aligning your personal and professional goals with your core values. Thanks for listening to The Central Quest. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Remember, your journey towards personal and professional growth starts with the way you perceive the world around you. And finally, I ask you this favour. Please subscribe to The Central Quest and share it with your friends and family. Only then can the channel grow and reach out to help more people. Follow me on social media for more updates and additional content. Until next time, keep challenging your perceptions and unlock your potential.